Why don't you go? Go back into your house. All I'm doing is working.
Okay, asshole, you've got a lawsuit on you now.
Okay.
What is your name and the name of your garden service? I cannot... Listen to me. I am telling you to stop filming me.
Okay, then leave me alone. I'm trying to document this for my safety and yours, okay?
Oh, shut up. Okay. Okay, Sancho, stop filming me. Okay. What is the name of your business?
Sancho's Garden Service.
Okay.
Would you like my phone number?
Hang on.
Can I have your phone number and your name too?
Sancho's Garden Service.
Yeah.
What's the number?
Oh my goodness. Talk about a Karen. And I would love to believe that this was a comedy skit, that this was a fake, that this was a goof. But with the decline of our modern society, I don't think it is. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of WeAreChange.org, and we have a plethora of absolutely crazy news to get into today, as it definitely looks like humanity is going through some very severe tests. As in this video, we are going to be talking about space lasers. Yes, you heard that correctly. Elon Musk confirmed he's an alien. And there's a lot of balloons flying over the United States that have recently been shot down. What's really going on here? What's the bigger story? Is there a Project Bluebeam here operating right now as we're speaking? Well, we're going to find out and go through that in this particular video. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on LukeUncensored.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared on TikTok under Minster, I think, but originally shared by Clown World, that has, I would say, the best collection of off-the-wall, crazy, societal context takes that are, I think, absolutely important to look from a skeptical point of view, as the videos they highlight are perplexing, to say the least. And again, if you haven't followed at Clown World on Twitter, what are you waiting for? Check them out. They are definitely worth a follow. This, as the challenges to our modern day humanity are definitely getting tougher and tougher by the day. This, as of course we all tried to avoid calamity, which we're very close to. All of this is happening as, very interestingly, there has been a huge resurgence of people infighting with each other. There's a whole bunch of personal drama that people love to talk about. There's a whole bunch of lawsuits. There's a whole bunch of craziness happening in this kind of alternative media sphere. And this is why I wanted to remind everyone about an official United States government counterintelligence program that officially ran from 1956 to 1971, that was a covert illegal project that not only surveilled, infiltrated, discredited, and disrupted domestic American political organizations, but specifically engineered conflict amongst activist groups so they would spend time fighting each other rather than actually addressing the true causes of their concerns, which they actually mutually agreed upon. All of this is happening as the governments are becoming more and more aggressive against human freedom and liberty, to the point where even in the United Kingdom, some politician is demanding that counter-terrorist police investigate people who are skeptical of a corrupted big pharma industry. This, as Western governments have been prolonging, extending, and escalating a proxy conflict that's happening right now in Europe, to the point where even Peter Hitchens came out and said just moments ago that, quote, "This is not a simple battle between good and evil. The longer we avoid peace talks in Ukraine, the closer we come to Armageddon." And I have to agree with him, as of course there have been many peace deals that have been sabotaged. This, as a conflict which is really good for the military-industrial complex, has been artificially prolonged and is continuing to be prolonged as the life loss of innocent people piles up, and only gets higher, like the profits of the few people benefiting off of this that truly do have too much power and authority. All of this as the US federal government sets their sights on individuals like Elon Musk, an individual that has actually restored a semblance, somewhat, of free speech. Not perfectly, but somewhat, on a private social media platform that is actually respecting Americans' ability to be able to communicate with each other and have an exchange of ideas. This, as the Biden administration, along with the Department of Transportation under Pete Buttigieg, now is going after Elon Musk in an investigation with, you guessed it, trafficking, quote, hazardous pathogens. Yes, throughout all of the last few years of all the crazy things that we've been through, it's now Elon Musk, of all people, being investigated for trafficking hazardous pathogens. Again, so many things you could bring up, especially with Dr. Fauci, Eco Health Alliance, the Wuhan lab, the Ukraine labs. But really, this is what you're going after Elon for? Again, we're going to find out exactly what's going to come out of this particular organization, but I think it's fair to say there's a lot of other people that should be investigated for very similar things. But hey, the government doesn't investigate themselves, and that's why we need free speech platforms like Twitter to be able to respect people's voices, which it hasn't even perfectly done that, but it still represents this large idea, and why I created this shirt with Elon Musk on it that is titled Free as a Bird. We have a normal version of this shirt that is not weird and wacky that you could get as a member of the average public. If you're a member of LukeUncensored.com, you actually get access to special shirts that are available to you at cost. Very little to no profit for us at all. Just for simply making the shirts, we make sure that these shirts are exclusive, one of a kind. One of them I'm wearing right now, and you can only get it by being a member of LukeUncensored.com. By the way, the other shirts we have are also pretty spectacular. I mean, the normie version of this shirt is pretty cool. We just released this one that reads Uncancelable. Of course, I have my seed oil one. I'm really excited for this one to come in, as well as the one that I just showed you. And if you get a moment and want some laughs and goofs and want to see some really cool, funny political ideas and expressions, check out thebestpoliticalshirts.com. It is our shirt. We worked really hard. I was hanging out with a big influencer here in South Florida yesterday. And the way he introduced me is, hey, that's the guy with the really successful t-shirt business. And I'm like, damn right. As we're expanding our business, not just from wacky t-shirts, but also to certificates and diplomas recognizing OG individuals, which you could only get on I'mTheRealOG.com. Yes, that's an actual website where we're expanding, we're growing, and we're going to be selling a lot of really cool, goofy, amazing things out there because we need it. We need it more than ever. Mainly because a lot of the things out there suck. Lots of things are made in China, like, of course, surveillance balloons, or EMP balloons, or nuclear weapon balloons, or bioweapon balloons. Balloons galore. This, as just moments ago, the FAA announced that they are closing the airspace over parts of Lake Michigan for, quote, national defense purposes. What's going on here? Well, I think it's important to look at from a critical perspective, as we are getting some reports right now of allegedly a cluster of balloons that have been spotted over the lake. Now, is this a goof? Is this a gaffe? Is this someone trying to mess with people? Could this be another foreign government trying to worsen tensions between China and the United States? And I think, with the absence of information and the national security state usually lying to us, it's best to kind of speculate and entertain all possibilities here. This, as it has been officially confirmed that the F-22 fighter jet has now shot down 3 flying objects over North America in the past week. Starting from February 4th, it was a Chinese spy balloon. February 10th, there was an object in the sky that was the size of a small car with no propulsion. It allegedly interfered with a pilot's systems that was also shot down. February 11th, there was also an object out of space being shot down. This is February 11th. Also in Montana, jets were scrambled into that particular airspace. This, as finding out what's really going on here is a little bit difficult, as we keep hearing about anomalies and, quote, small cylinder objects. This, as in the making of this video, I think I have a genius idea that you guys will soon see on twitter.com/LukeWeAreChange, probably by the end of today. So stay tuned for that on a separate note. But let's continue on with this story, which is pretty significant here and, of course, has many implications, especially when it comes to the international relations between this and the second rising power on the world stage, and that, of course, is China. This, as of course, we still do not have any official confirmation what these new balloons, what these new objects are, who are they from, and as we're waiting to find out what's going on here, obviously the first one was from China, since China demanded it back and was angry that it was shot down. This is, of course, a breakdown of international relations between China and the United States, signals, of course, very troubling economic perspective perspectives for both countries, as of course we are interlinked because of David Rockefeller. And you could bet your bottom dollar the cheap Chinese slave-made goods that the United States is dependent on will be used as a bargaining chip. And it's not just consumer goods, but it's also medical products like antibiotics that are usually overprescribed here in the United States, that the United States predominantly gets from China. And if tensions get worse, China is, of course, going to be using that as a bargaining chip, or could potentially cut off the United States entirely, which would prompt some very serious problems within our entire medical system, as, of course, the majority of our medical products come from China. This as China is now also reporting today that they have detected a, quote, unidentified object entering its airspace, and the Chinese military is, quote, preparing to take it down. This, according to the latest state media officials there. The object is allegedly near Guangdong, near a port city, and could these be the tit-for-tat escalations that slowly and surely get us into a bigger global conflict here? Well, we hope not. But now Canada is involved here. They're on our side, which, I mean, what are you going to say about that? As U.S. Congress members are coming out and telling their constituents that are selling them, quote, a biggest bunch of bullcrap, as there was another incident, also just a few days ago, of green laser beams being spotted off the coast of Hawaii. Laser beams that, according to some experts, came from a Chinese satellite. What do these laser beams do? What are they indicative of? What's the larger ramifications here? Well, it could just be a geopolitical show of force by the Chinese saying, hey, we're going to prog here and see what we could get away with. Now, why are Chinese satellites sending green laser beams to Hawaii? Could it be them testing some latest military technology that we still don't know anything about? Well, who knows, but it's most likely a show of force, or it could be aliens. This, as Elon Musk has just officially confirmed, as UFOs are now trending on Twitter, that, quote, don't worry, just some of my alien UFO friends of mine stopping by, leaving me officially to say, I knew it! It makes perfect sense now. And, yes, lots of people are talking about aliens. This says, of course, all the very vague language by the U.S. military and the U.S. government, with them not being transparent and keeping quiet about all the developments here. Automatically, people think that there's aliens involved here. And with the way that things have been going, let's be honest here, probably. I mean, if you haven't thought about the possibility of an alien UFO psyop, you haven't really been thinking, especially with the way that things that have been lining up here in the United States with the U.S. government and the corporate media slowly but surely opening up this kind of Pandora box of like, hey, there's aliens out there, building up probably to a crescendo moment that, hey, let's just be honest here, is not out of the realm of possibility that we could actually see in our lifetime. Now, is there actually any kind of real evidence of all of this in modern context, speaking with all these latest events that are unfolding right now? Nope. There isn't, but we're just, of course, speculating here. And during these crazy and difficult times, that's a lot better than just believing government. This, as a U.S. representative from the state of Montana came out and said he talked to NORCAM, conflicting some prior government statements saying that the object found was, quote, not an anomaly over U.S. airspace. This, as U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer also came out and said both objects shot down over Alaska and Canada were, quote, balloons. Who do you believe here? What's really going on here? Well, let me know down in the comment section below, but it's fair to say it, of course, has to be aliens, right? No, I'm joking. I'm being facetious. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching this video, sharing it with your friends and family members, supporting me and my co-host, Atlas. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, watching and sharing and getting the shirts. Without you, I wouldn't be here, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.